Hi, here's a little sequence that I was doing in a class today, which I hope you enjoy. We're going to be using a roller and a ring and of course the wall. Now, the reason I like this series is we spend a lot of time in Pilates lying on our backs, but this one is standing up. So it's going to be challenging the things that you're used to be doing on the floor, but now in an upright position. And you'll be amazed at how things change. So we're going to be setting your roller up against the wall and then putting your back against it, just as though you had been lying on it as you would normally on the mat surface. Now, just putting it up against there sometimes can feel a little bit weird, so we want to make sure that you've got your tail touching in the back of the head and between the shoulders. So just finding your alignment. Your feet are going to have to be a little bit further forward than where you think, so having them underneath there is not going to help your body alignment too much. So finding your position, collect your ring, and then from here we're going to be sending, I feel like I'm slightly skew, so if you're slightly skew, then go ahead and change that. There we go, that's better. So starting with the ring nice and close towards you. My legs are not fully locked out and stiff, but they're also not fully straightened, so I've got a slight bend in the knees. So stretching the arms out and away from you, and then we're going to be pulling the elbows out to the side and then raising the arms forward in front. So as I'm doing this, the feeling that I've got is of my elbows going on a nice long line from elbow tip to elbow tip. So I'm not dropping my elbows at this stage. We will be doing that in a moment, but for now I'm just drawing a straight line across the back of my body from one elbow to the other. And then we're going to change our position. So we're going to be bending the elbows now toward the wall. You'll notice the ring comes lower, and then bringing the arms out in front. So as you pull the elbows back, it's like a little rowing action, and then stretching the arms forward again. So as we do this movement, you're noticing in your own body that you're not wanting to rib flare away in order to get a bigger stretch and pull. You're still keeping those contact surface points behind you. Keep the arms outstretched and reaching long as we raise the arms towards the ceiling, and you may notice that the ring is going to stop you from going too far back, and then lowering the arms all the way down towards your thighs. And then again, taking the arms back. Now, if you notice you need to change a little bit of positioning of your feet, go ahead and do that. I just had to do that for me as well. So as the arm is going overhead, the reason we have the circle is so that we can work as evenly as possible through the two sides. Often when we don't have something to hold with our hands, you can get one arm doing a lot more than the other. Last one there, and then bringing the arms down. We're going to return the arms out to shoulder height. Keeping everything steady, we're going to move the arms across the midline and then over to the other side. So as we're shifting our arms to the left and the right, everything else is staying still. Now, the thing you want to notice is, what are your feet doing? So you'll be hopefully feeling a little bit of pressure on one foot more than the other as the arm crosses the center. And that's going to be dependent on you, which foot is going to be moving more or steadying yourself more. Take your arms to the left side, and we're going to combine all of our moves together as we raise the arms toward the ceiling, over to the right and down. So we're going to go for 5 arm circles this way around. And as you do, you're still looking at the organization of your shoulders, not creating tension at the top of your neckline. And then you could imagine that you were sort of got ribbons in your hand and making a nice big circling action, or maybe paint and making a circle out in front of you. Whatever makes it feel good and a little bit easier is the way you're going to go. Go to the left and pause, swing the arms around to the right, and then we're going to start going up to the ceiling and over towards the left and down. So I'm always amazed at how quickly the arms start to feel the movement in terms of strength. Now, this is not a very heavy object that we're holding, but boy, you can feel it against the resistance of gravity as we're making these arm strides. One more time as we take it all the way around and bringing it all the way back over to the right and then back into the center. From here, we're just going to take you into a curl forward position. So you're going to roll yourself down. You're going to open the legs a little wider and place the ring between your 2 knees, and then roll yourself back onto the roller behind. So now we've got a little bit of knee bend. You shift in your pelvis if you need to. Arms are stretched out in front of you. Watch that those shoulders aren't creeping forward or up. You want to keep them settled and in line with each other. We're going to squeeze onto the ring for 10. As you're squeezing in, you'll notice there's a narrowing, obviously, of your legs towards each other, but you're not trying to turn your feet in towards each other. So your feet are still staying nice and balanced. And we're just getting that sense of spiraling the thigh bones in and out and in and out. And we'll go for 3 more. I'm pretty sure that's 10 then. 2, and then 1 more from here. So staying in the low position, we're going to raise the 2 heels away from the floor. So finding your balance. And yes, we have 10 more. So squeeze and release. So this is not about trying to squeeze completely shut. It's focusing on the balancing of all 10 toes and then adding the complication of a new movement strategy above. And we've got another 3 and 2 and 1 and then down. Let's keep with this movement now of raising the heels up and lowering the heels down. And we'll do another 8 of them. And as we do, again, that width across all 10 toes, very important, and making sure that the heels are not flicking in or out as you're lifting them up, but that they're staying like they're pushing forward towards the fronts of your ankles. And another 3, if I've missed a number, don't worry, 2, and then 1 more time staying, and we'll final go for another 10 squeezes, 2, 3. Notice if you're starting to get breathless like I am. This is all setting us up for our next movement. And another 4 to go. 2, 1, and then heels are going to go down. From here, just letting your body slide back up. Make sure you're in contact. We're going to roll ourselves away from the roller's edge, feeling the imprinting of your lower back as you find that ring and taking it out. We're just going to lower it off to the side, so you don't need it at the moment. And then bringing yourself back into balance. Reposition as necessary. Bring the feet a little narrower again. So from here, we're going to send those arms out in front of us. So feeling a little more free with our movement. We're going to send our arms up into a scissor. So 1 arm to the ceiling, 1 arm down, and then circle the arms all the way around and then bringing it through. So the right arm in my case is going over and circling around. So it's great to have something to hold on to give us form and structure, but it's also really necessary for our joints to explore their ranges of movement as they were designed. 1 more time as we take our arms all the way up. From here, we'll pause, arms in front, and then send the other arm up and over. So again, as you change the direction of your circle, see if you're as smooth through each shoulder joint, and also noticing if you're coordinated, right? So one way is usually a lot easier than the other, and oftentimes we'll start with the easier side and then bringing those arms all the way back out in front of you. From here, a little concentration required. We're going to be floating a leg up. So roll onto the toes like we just practiced earlier, and then float a leg up into the air. So we're at that 90-90 bend at our knee and our hip, and then lower the foot, toe on and heel down. Other side, heel rises up and then knee floats to the top. Hold, and then lowering the toes and then lowering the heel. Now there will be a slight movement on the roller and your body weight shifting. That's quite normal to happen, so don't worry, don't feel like you have to stay in the same position. You know, every movement we make is different from the one we made before. So just making sure that you're feeling confident in your striding and lifting of your legs. So we'll go for 1 more time. We'll hopefully even us off to the 2 sides. And then we're going to add in some movement. So with our opposite arm, with our same arm, we're going to lift our arm and our knee and then send the other arm down to the side and then replacing the foot and then going up on the opposite side. Now, as we do this, I'm really particular about how that foot is going to land on the floor. So nice and quiet with the ball of the foot and then onto the heel, and then peeling the heel up and then raising the toes off. So this is all helping in things like our gait mobility. So we've got a lot of mobile structures in our foot, a lot of joints, 30 joints in our foot that need to be working for us to really effectively use our foot and our balancing and our walking strides. Last one here. All right, so a little bit of a mind game. We're going to be bringing up I'm going to bring up my left leg, but I'm going to take my right arm toward the ceiling. So working into that cross line. Now notice if it is easier for you to do it on this motion or not as easy. And again, just feeling the little shifts of movement behind you against the roller. And we'll go for 2 more to each side. I'm definitely feeling slightly different from one side to the other. And again, long. So I'm not touching the wall with either of my arms. I'm staying in that sort of hovered position. And then last one to each leg. And then bringing it all the way back down again and resting the arms towards your side. From here, just stepping in a little closer towards the wall and then letting that roller come all the way back down towards your side. So that was a very quick and easy way of trying to find a little bit more postural positioning, focusing on deeper core in a standing exercise, getting a lot of freedom and mobility into your hips. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.